What are you telling yourself about your life and or your business that is holding you back? See, just over the last few weeks, we had one company that thought their business was so drastically different when we were teaching them soft skills that they really wanted to make sure that we hit it home, in the pre-work and everything. And I really understand that. But they were overwhelmingly had an arrogance that their business was different. This arrogance is a limiting belief. Now, I was just trained a company, financial company here over the last day or so, and it was on basically on soft skills, on your ability to communicate. And these folks make about 50 to 60 dials a day. In my own company, we make 16,000 phone calls a year. See, I believe that in any endeavor, you have to throw everything against the wall. So we utilize, social media, we use online advertisements, direct mail, we use emails, we use phone calls. I run probably 400 meetings a year. And some people say, oh, that's crazy. But you know what? I feel like you got to do everything to have success. And you can't stop at anything. You got to be willing to do today what others aren't, so you could live a life that others can't, shortly in the future. And so when you really look at that, I was down training a company, and every time I train these companies, it's funny because I even get this from people that surround me, is that the phone is dead. It's hard to get people on the phone. And I think it's easier to get people on the phone today because, everyone has their cell phone right by their side. And what's the first thing? It rings, they're picking it up, they're diving for their phone. They're getting that shot of dopamine from their technology. And so the phone isn't dead. It's just when you're on the phone and you're calling people, it takes a few calls to get some people on the phone. A few years ago, just about 2 years ago, I was making 200 cold calls a day, just testing a script and helping train somebody. And I was making 200 phone calls a day, and I probably made about 2,000 phone calls. And of those 200 phone calls that I was making per day, I was only getting about 12 people on the phone, but I was advancing 8 people to the next level, and I was doing this in 4 hours. If you're making 50 or 60 dials a day, like I make, my associate, and then I hear a lot of companies out there in the financial industry that I work in, their guys and girls got to make 50, 60 calls a day. And here's the deal. You're only going to get 5 to 10 people on the phone. And so the phone's not dead. It's not that people aren't picking up the phone. That's what life is. It's just like, oh, direct mail is dead. No, it's not. You're going to get a 0.5% to 1% response rate, and same with online leads. You study all these online marketers and stuff, but there's a certain proportion that are just going to fall off. And it's the same thing with the phone. What I'm really saying here is, what beliefs are you holding that are limiting you and your company? Says, the biggest thing I hear, in these trainings, when I'm training people on the phone that are essentially cold callers, oh, the phone's dead, and they want to do everything they can to not make their 50 or 60 calls a day. And that's holding their business back. That belief is holding the business back. And even if the managers have that belief, it's holding them back. So in the end, what do you got to do is you have to do goal achieving activities, not pressure relieving activities. And, by saying something's dead or something's not working, now obviously you got to be honest with yourselves, but is it limiting your business? And are you just looking to do pressure relieving activities rather than goal achieving activities? So thinking your business is different and thinking that, oh, something won't work for you could possibly be limiting you and limiting your business. So look at your success, look at what you're doing, look what you're not doing, and say, hey, what can I do different? How can I grind this even more to have the success that I ultimately want for my business? And use the multi-channel approach. It's phone calls, it's face-to-face meetings, it's follow-up, the fortunes in the follow-up, it's direct mail. So what I say is stick to everything, have the most success you possibly can, and be careful about thinking your business is different because it might be limiting you. Do goal achieving activities, not pressure relieving activities. Have success today.